everyone. Welcome to Chatter, where we talk about things that matter.
Okay.
So today, we are going to talk about owning your own mess.
I ain't ready. I'm just playing.
What's up? I'm going to start with a little story. So, I have a school husband, right? And so we were in my office just talking, and when things get crazy at work, we start brainstorming like all the things we should be doing instead of work. Like, how did we end up here? Like, we are smart enough to do this, this, and this. So one day he comes to my office and sits down and he says, "Girl, I was talking to my mom yesterday, and you know what she said?" And I said, "What? What she say? What mama say?" And he said, "My mom said you all would be so successful if y'all weren't so lazy." That's what I said. I was like, so I start laughing. Then I start crying, like a tear is coming, and I was like, "You're right."
You think you're lazy?
You are right. But think about it. So think about all the times we talk about the things we could do and brainstorm ideas, and think about some ideas we had back in 2001 that we see walking around right now. Okay.
True.
So that started me thinking on, golly, how did I end up like here?
Yeah.
Not that I'm not happy with where I am, but when I start thinking about all of the creativity and all of the ideas that I've not jumped on, and it could have been out of fear or just
I was going to say,
laziness.
it's not lazy for you.
I was about to say,
I think it's fear.
I don't think
Really?
I don't think it's fear. Wait a minute. I don't think it's laziness for a lot. I think it is a lot of fear, and I think it's a lot of not knowing how to go about it and making it happen. I think there's so many loops and things and stuff you have to do that by the time you figure out, you just be tired from, okay, I gotta do this. Okay, wait a minute, I gotta go. I think I think when we have ideas to make them come to fruition, it's a lot. I think it's a lot to make it happen.
Because we spent some of them years, like right after we had all these wonderful ideas, we got married, had children, that took away, and like we had babies back when you had babies back. And so I can't say that you were lazy, but
I don't know if I agree, because I think that's part of owning your mess.
Is laziness, and that lazy word has such a negative connotation because it's been used upon our people to say this is why you are. So I'm not going to take that's. Yes, sometimes
I don't think we do as much as we could.
I am going to attribute it to lazy.
So let's try another term.
Yeah, we don't like the word.
So
we
come
don't
on,
like
Miss
the word. What's the
Adjective.
Low
word?
energy.
So what's it?
Low energy. Okay.
Low
Distraction. I think distraction. I think distract because I think life distracts us, and I think that's exactly what you just said. I think having babies, trying to get this job, stuff like that. I think it distracts us from if there is something.
Okay, so let's own up to some stuff since it's own up to stuff.
Yes.
Okay. I really think, even though we don't do as much as younger people, I think social media and stuff has distracted us. I think if we really look at how much time we spend on our phone, I know days that I don't touch my phone, I get so much more done.
Okay, I can agree with that.
So we don't look at it as our phone taking up time, but it's a distraction. Like you're looking at your phone. If you're not looking at your phone, you're talking to somebody on the phone, or you're texting somebody, or you're looking at Facebook and laughing at all these silly videos. So that's a distraction. The next thing you look up, it's been hours, and you could have been doing something else more productive.
I agree, because when I think about just different people I've heard speak, I shared before that I was in Academy of Finance, and when I was in Academy of Finance, I had the opportunity. We did a stock market game, and my group I was in, we won the stock market game. So they're like, "All right, you guys get to come to a luncheon with guest speakers." We had no idea who the guest speakers were. Come to find out, guest speakers were, Famous Amos Cookies, the guy who created Famous Amos Cookies, Steve Jobs, President of McDonald's Corporation, Dave Thomas. All of these people were there, and literally it was like an intimate setting where we talked to these people. Steve Jobs had just lost Apple. He had just started a different company because he had just lost Apple. Famous Amos, same thing. He had just lost Famous Amos Cookies, lost his name. I think he had to change it to No Name Amos Cookies or something.
I remember seeing No Name.
Yes, and he was living in Hawaii at the time. So one of the things across the board they shared is what they do. We talk sometimes about getting up in the middle of the night and can't sleep, and have what they do with their time. And they are thinking, they're creating, they're working. Like these people, like across the board, these people work on their idea. Even though they don't know how, they're putting in that extra work to like get it done. So when you are looking back or reflecting on your life and you have regret, what do you do with that regret? Like, how do you deal with it? Do you deal with it? Do you push it away? Do you turn it into something positive? So, Joe, I'm gonna start with you, Joe, because you had a physical reaction.
Okay. So you said, how do I deal with that regret? I own up to it. I regret some things. I regret some opportunities I did not take advantage of. I regret some of the time that I wasted, because one of the things I did not understand until recently, how time flies. You know, we heard the old saying, time flies. You better make the best of it. But when I was in my 30s, I was thinking I had a whole bunch of time. So I did not put forth the effort that I should have towards my goals. So when I look back over it, I do have some regrets. I do have some regrets. And what I do, honestly, I take it in. I acknowledge my regrets. I mean, you know, I may get a drink or something and just... But, you know, I accept it and I live from it. But I don't deny it because, you know, I'm a Christian. So, you know, there's a scripture that everybody tends to use. All things work together for the good for those who love the Lord. Yeah. So they kind of sweep everything under that. That's good, but in a sense, I said, Joanne, you could have done better. Yeah. And that motivates me. It doesn't make me feel bad because you know what that tells me? I have the potential in me. Yeah. So I do have some regrets, and I live it. I own up to it. That's Tuesday. I may be feeling down Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, and I thank God for each day because I feel like I got another day, and I just take that fuel to make it happen. But I don't sweep underneath the rug. I don't say I don't have no regrets in life. I got a whole bunch. Yeah, I got a whole bunch.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mm-hmm. Look at the stuff and be like, okay, you could have did better. And recently is when I started looking at the whole, I'm looking at this phone and I could be doing something else. Because y'all know I got 100 million dreams out there in my head that I'm trying to put together. And then I'm like, I can do this stuff. Like, but now, like you said, I feel like I'm in a rush for time now. So I have to check myself with that. Because, like, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Yeah. But not wasting my time on the phone. Okay. And just looking at that stupid phone.
She asked, do you have any regrets? And do you feel
how do you deal with it?
How do you deal with it? How do you cope with your regrets?
Oh,
with your coping method.
That's what she asked.
Yes. But you answered it, though. Because you said,
I want Deidre to say.
How I deal with it?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, I sit up and I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. But that's the answer too.
Okay, so listen, I'm going to say this. If I'm thinking about it, really what I do is just try to come up with another plan. Oh, like a lot of people pick at me about the fact you always got a plan. You always got a plan. Okay. So I do have a tendency. Okay, this didn't work. So let's do this. We can look at this with this project. Like the original project was a sitcom.
Yeah.
And then through failures, I was like, okay. But then that leads me to the whole throwing stuff under the everything works for time good God. Yeah, thank you. Give me the correct Bible verse. Y'all know my brain somewhere else. I am overstimulated. Lord Jesus. Okay, so the way this has worked out, I feel like this is what was supposed to happen. I had another vision, but this is what was supposed to happen.
For now.
Yes, for now. Because I'm not giving up on the sitcom. I just hope y'all know. For now. I'm not giving up on the sitcom.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
Yes.
All right, so how do you deal with your regrets?
So I realized I'm the outlier of this group.
Okay.
So whenever we all get names, I'm going to be the outlier. I'm going to get shirt outlier. Because... And we kind of touched on it some of the time. Because we talked about it. We talked about it.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time.
We were talking about something else, just chit chatting, whatever. And it was like, you know. Anyway, Deidre was like, you know, anyway. Long story short, let me just cut it to the chase. Long story short is, I literally
don't have no dreams.
I really don't. Right, like I literally don't have any regrets. No, she's right. I don't have. Let me tell you how. Don't say that I don't have dreams.
She succeeded in all of her dreams. Tell them what your dreams were.
My dreams was just to get married.
Don't say just.
Get married, have kids, and pledge, aka. No,
don't say just.
That's fine.
Okay. So let me say because as we're talking right now. You know, people, oh, you're wasting your time because you're not. So I'm not the one. I don't want to be a millionaire. Like, I don't need to create the world a new talk show. I don't need to create this new.
She said she's gonna break up with me if we ever blow up.
I don't need that. I just want my peace. I just want my kids to be able to. I just want to make sure that they're good in life and they're happy in life. So I've done everything. So
you're just not creative at all. You
she
are
not
creative.
saying that. She
No. I'm just thinking. I'm talking about the dream part because most of your dreams come from you being creative. And that kind of stuff. But I was going to say you are very creative.
So you know how I did. So you know how I feel. I feel like I feel like my goal is to help people get where they need to be. I'm a helper. Okay. That's what I do. I help people. And I love helping people. Like the way people love, the way you love coming up with new ideas and the way you love being creative and stuff like that. The way you love taking care of yourself. Just the way you all love.
Your passion.
My passion is people. So I love helping people. That's my thing. So I feel like I do that all the time. So I don't feel like I haven't regretted because I've done it anytime somebody uses it. So like the truth, like I did say that, to the truth be I'm only here because somebody else couldn't be here now. And if when things change, I'm okay because it was a helping thing. So that's how I am. So I literally don't have any regrets. Like I lied, I have one, but it's not that bad. So I'll share it. So it's okay because I look back. I was at Florida State and I was graduating from college. I had to take a class. At Florida State, and I was taking oceanography along with physics. And a little girl, and she was like, "Oh, you are so good at this oceanography. You should do an intern. You get to have this intern, and you go on the boat and you mop the ocean floor." I wanted to say to her, "Do you see what color I am? So we don't map no ocean floor." But when I sat back over time and looked at it, but why, Tasha? You didn't have no kids. You didn't have no job. You was just graduate, so why not? So I guess that regret taught me that I pass on to my kids. You don't have to rush out and get a job immediately beyond college. You don't have to rush and get a house. You don't have to work on whatever you feel to become stable. If you want to goof off for a minute, go goof off. Because that would have been a goof off. But I don't really, I don't replay that. The only time I replay it is when I'm having this conversation and I need something. But I'm so at peace where
everything. Okay. Well, then you can't answer this next question. So when you look at owning up to your mess, what would you categorize as a mess? And it could be a certain aspect of your life or something from the past, but what would you say was a mess that you created?
Oh, tough. My finances.
Okay.
I definitely regret getting credit cards in college.
Okay.
Yeah. Because now I know that how in the world was I supposed to pay that? I didn't have no money. And I just, the credit card. So what that did, that gave me a false sense of security about credit. Like, oh, I can fix my credit. Oh, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So as it was getting bad, I didn't realize, girl, you need to work on this now. Like this actually stays on your credit report. So I would say my finances was definitely a mess that I definitely regret. My mother said, "Joanne, don't do it." My mother bought 3 houses in her lifetime. She never worried about credit, never worried about money because she knew what she was doing. She told me, she said, "Don't do it." And I was thinking, well, I have it. So what I could put under a mess was definitely my finances because I regret not listening to my mom because she said, "Don't do it. This is going to stay with you for a long time." Goes back to me thinking I had more time. I didn't have as much time as I thought I had. So a mess, finances.
Okay.
I'll agree on the finances, but I was thinking they did just pass out credit cards.
They did with a T-shirt. Here's a T-shirt and credit card. T-shirt and credit card.
And once we learned that, instead of stopping it, because I could do better with my money. I could be even today, I could be a better steward of my money.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just feel
I think I can say that.
Yeah,
too.
you know what?
Don't
she just don't regret it. Whereas when I get ready, when I'm looking at my house and how I want to buy a house and that kind of stuff, then that's when I regret it. Because I did not need to go to McDonald's. That one of my other regrets is my weight. I wish once I start seeing it creeping up, that I
would have taken better
charge. But it was I'm still fine. So I'm just,
still
and I think that's part of the problem. Thick. Yeah, and then look, that's the other misconception they love to give us. Oh, but you thick with it. Yeah, but so that, because then that leads into health and that all this stuff. So that's another regret. Did you just
I
So that's a mess.
You just look at regret as being a big word.
And see, I'm not going to say that my life is perfect and I don't have.
So what's the mess? What would you say?
What was a mess? I would instead of regret, just say mess. What's a mess?
So what's something that I wish was better now?
No, she said, what's the mess?
What's the mess?
Okay. So the mess is I don't have my house right now for my kids. That's the mess that I have right now.
Okay.
So that's the mess that I have right now. So how do I own up to that mess that I have? I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to work on my credit. I'm trying to. I I'm trying to make it.
And let me say this about the word, and this is going to lead into the power of words. We give words meaning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So when I think of the word regret, I don't think of anything negative. Mm-hmm. It motivates me. I'm thinking to myself, if I regret this, to me that means that there's something in me that could have done better. So I don't have these regrets. I'm not going to commit suicide. There's nothing that I'm going to do next. Yes. I don't even think bad about myself. Mm-hmm. I think, okay, Joan, you regret this. That means you need to go back and rethink this. Mm-hmm. So we give words meaning. So a lot of times that word regret may have a negative connotation. For me, it motivates me. So I need to sit back and think about what I've been through. So when I say, I regret this, but now I'm going to do this. So regret doesn't do anything to me.
I agree. It pushes me to get my stuff together.
So I was like,
instead of just sitting in and like,
because a lot of people just fall on it. All things work together. Yeah, but I could have done that.
Yeah, it's your part in it. And so some people lean on that, like, everything happens for a reason. No, it happened because you did X, and you have to say it and own it so you can move on from it,
and you can learn from it.
Yes. So mess for me, I think, is my peace. So I think I've allowed things in and out, even with my time. And so for me, my peace right now is literally a mess. And even if I am like in silence and I still can't be in silence. You know what I'm saying? Because I've just created, and this is all my creation. I cannot point any fingers anywhere. But for me, it's peace. So that is something I'm definitely having to reflect and see where am I making this mistake? Yes, where did I let it slip? And why am I letting other people have that power over me to disrupt my peace?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what you just made me think about? I know when women have difficulties with men, and they try to, or I'm gonna say men too. I'm just saying when people have difficulties with men, relationship issues, they never go back and reflect on themselves.
How could I do that?
Like even if the men are messed up,
yes,
I have to because
you're one.
Yeah, but that's even if the men are messed up.
Yeah,
how did you choose that man?
Yeah,
because you allowed that man into your life.
So that's a part of owning up to yourself.
Yeah, you gotta own up to it. But a lot of people don't do it.
But you gotta put your big panties on.
And your friends, the people who are around, because they're seeing the pattern. Yeah. You pointed a pattern out to me. I don't know, should I say it? Two people pointed out two patterns to me. I won't say what the other one pointed out, but you pointed out a pattern. You were like, and you know how you be talking to the teacher sometime, and then she just say something random. You like, that's not what we were talking about, but okay. So you said something about me being attracted to powerful men, right? Or men in power. But that comes with ego, narcissism. It comes with a lot of stuff. And when she said, my reaction was, no, I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I said, wait a minute. And I thought about the men that have been in my life, and I thought about their position wherever they were. Like, it could be a powerful man. You work for the garbage place. You the manager at the garbage place, and you tell people what to do. So I said, oh my gosh. And then I started thinking of some of the personality conflicts that come with people in power.
And that is so profound, because when I was talking about that, I said, we didn't got to men, but if you look at a man, they're going to come with traits, and it's going to be pervasive.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole
relationship. So even in that, you have to make some decisions like, all right, what am I attracting? Like, how am I showing up places? How am I presenting myself? And what are they're attracted to, because they prey on certain things, right? Yes, so I have to own up to that and start to look in my heart, right? Ask, because I'm a Christian as well, but I have to talk to God and say, all right, please reveal these things to me. And then when they're revealed, I have to do something about those things.
And that's the thing that people need to understand. When you sitting back and you trying to take accountability and you sitting owning up to yourself, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
That's where you have to say, I'm okay. Because I tell myself that every day. I'm okay. You're okay. We're going to be okay. Yes. So when you're doing that, like you said, you're doing that self-reflection, that's the time for you to say, okay, this is what I need to do better. But don't beat yourself up.
Don't beat yourself up.
And don't.
So you can own up without beating up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beating up.
guys, so we're going to end with a few more pieces. So you are not perfect, okay? What do you want to be better at, right? Think about how do you want to be better and do the work to be better.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Cope with your mess, forgive yourself, accept regrets, practice gratitude.
Yes.
Being thankful for where you are and all of those all of the messes because it helped create, who you are now. Create create a decision-making process.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So if you know you messed up in the past, you know how you got there, now I have to, create steps to make a better decision.
Yeah, like building new systems.
Yes.
I can't think this way anymore.
Yes.
And that takes time for you to build habits, but that's excellent.
Yes. So build healthy habits. So that's all we have for today.
Such a teacher, Lord. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for